I made and published my first ever game. And I did it in only 2 months. But how did it go, and how was I able to do it? Well, let's go back to the beginning. At the start of the year, I made myself a promise that I would learn game development and make my first ever game this year. It has always been my dream to make games, but there has always been excuses why I haven't started this journey. The only thing I know how to do is to code, but all the other aspects of game development, I have no idea what to do. The art, the music, the design, I have no idea about those. First, I need to choose an engine to build my game with. There's always three main ones: Unreal Engine, Unity, and Godot. I chose Godot because it seemed like the simplest option. And also, if there was a chance I would actually make money with this thing someday, I wouldn't need to worry about giving money to the other engines. So now, all I need to do was start making the game. But where do I start? I had no idea. I was messing around with Godot and tutorials, but I quickly learned that if I want to actually start making something, I need to stop watching tutorials and focus on making something myself. I had this idea to make a simple game where I wouldn't need to worry about complex movement or physics or stuff like that. So I had this idea of just straight up copying a game and making it my own. Well, of course, the idea is just the same, but the gameplay is mostly different. Yeah, mostly. And because I'm not an artist, I don't know how to make art, I went for the simplest form, so I chose pixel art. But I didn't know how to do that either. Just look at this, my first tries with these characters. Just blah. But I practiced, and now I have some decent looking art for my game. At the start, I have so many ideas. I'm gonna add these power-ups to my game, this level up tree, these upgrade paths, just add everything. But then I realized that this is gonna take a long time to actually finish. At that point, I made myself a strict timeline of finishing the game just under the 2 month mark. Because I knew that if I didn't set myself a timeline, I would just keep building and building this game, and it would be never done and finished. As the days passed, I was making more and more progress towards the game, but I quickly noticed that because I wasn't experienced, my game and my code especially was looking like a spaghetti meatball dinner. It was completely unmaintainable. I just kept fixing my code with more and more spaghetti until the point that there was no more major bugs anymore. And just like that, I had an actually playable game. And let me tell you, the first time you're able to play your own game from start to finish is an absolutely unreal feeling. But I was missing something. I had no sound. I was almost done with my time also, so I didn't have time to start making music myself. Luckily, there's always other people to rely on, and they are kind enough to provide some free music and sound effects online. You can just nab and put in your game. Now I have to publish my game somewhere. But where? I went with the simplest option, just put it in its IO. I noticed there was one issue with this. When my game was downloaded and ran for the first time, Windows thought it was a virus. And I learned that this is something that you would need a certificate to make it go away. Or the other option was to your game to have enough downloads so Windows would trust it. So my only option was to pray that people would be brave enough to download and run my game. And the time to finally hit that release button on itch.io had finally came. But I had zero marketing, so how would anybody find out about my game? I quickly made a Reddit post about discussing my game development journey with Godot and publishing my first game, and to my surprise, it actually gained some traction. The next morning, when I woke up, I was so excited to see how many people had actually downloaded my game. But when checking my game stats from itch.io, I was met with these numbers. So, my first game was a total flop. Was this expected? Well, totally. But of course I can't lie and say that I didn't secretly hope my game would take off and gain at least some success. But still, this is not a bad ending. Because I actually accomplished something I have been dreaming about for years, making a game. And I'm gonna be making more games. And you better believe that they're gonna be way better than this one. And I'm actually going to be using this YouTube channel to document my progress, so you can follow along how my skills progress and see what games I'm going to be building next. We can learn game development together, so be sure to subscribe.